So what are the differences between a VA loan and an FHA loan, and which one is better? You know this channel is definitely dedicated to all my veterans, my active duty soldiers. However, there are some times where you may have to go with an FHA loan. Today, I'm gonna talk about the differences between the VA loan and an FHA loan. As you probably know, the VA loan is for active duty military and or veterans who were honorably discharged, to be very clear, because if you were not honorably discharged, you may not qualify for the VA loan. Now, the VA loan was established long ago, back in 1944, as part of the GI Bill, and you know VA loans are guaranteed by the US government, which is why VA does not have a credit score requirement. That's a big difference right off the bat. There's no credit score requirement for VA loans, whereas FHA there is. Now, FHA, on the other hand, are open to any qualified home buyers. They are insured by the Federal Housing Administration, which is why a FHA loan will require only 3.5% down. So there's a big difference there, 3.5% down, and your credit score doesn't have to be perfect. FHA actually states that you can go down to a 500 credit score, although most lenders will have their own credit score requirements, which are typically going to be higher than 500. Okay, so let's talk about some of the differences between VA and FHA in a little bit more detail. Now, VA loans are primarily for US veterans, active duty members, and certain military spouses as well. So even though you may not have served, if your spouse served, you may qualify for that benefit. Just keep that in mind, even if you weren't the person who actually served. FHA loans are available, again, eligible buyers, including first-time home buyers, even if they have lower or not perfect credit score. Down payment, I touched on this already. VA does not require a down payment, guys. Let me say that again. VA does not require a down payment. So if you're being told, oh, I need a 560 to get a VA loan, that is not the VA telling you that, guys. That is the lender, which is the overlay. It's called an overlay, okay? VA does not tell you or us, hey, you need a 550. The lender, whoever it is, will say, hey, I need you to have a 560 or a 580 or a 620, whatever the case may be. That is the lender's requirement, not the VA. On the other hand, FHA, again, 3.5%, credit score can go down to 500. Now, most lenders will not underwrite loans down to 500. My company will, all right? So if you need an FHA loan down to 500 credit score, or a VA loan and your credit score is not perfect, give me a call. Shameless plug. So one of the other big differences with VA versus FHA is mortgage insurance, okay? So mortgage insurance on a VA loan does not exist. Yeah, there is none. There's zero mortgage insurance on a VA loan. Guys, this opens you up to qualifying for more money when you don't have to pay mortgage insurance, which again is one of the huge benefits of the VA loan. On the other hand, FHA has a requirement. There's upfront mortgage insurance, and then you have monthly, okay? It's all rolled into the loan typically, okay? So upfront, it's 1.75, which actually decreased in the last couple of years. It was a little bit higher. Now it's 1.75. That is of the loan amount. So whatever your loan amount is, take 1.75%, multiply it. That is the amount for the FHA upfront mortgage insurance. Typically, again, that's going to get rolled into the loan, and then you're going to pay a monthly mortgage insurance as well. But you pay mortgage insurance on FHA because if you're not putting down 20% or more, you're just a bigger risk. Everything comes down to risk, okay? So the less money that you put down on the loan, the more risk it is to a lender. Now, VA is an exception. Now, keep in mind with VA, if you are getting 10% or more in disability monthly, you do not have to pay a funding fee. If you're not getting any disability or 10% or less in disability from the VA, you have to pay a funding fee, and that's gonna differ depending on how many times you use the VA loan. So keep that in mind as you're looking and comparing the two, VA, FHA. Again, for some people, they may be a veteran, but maybe for some reason they don't have enough entitlement. Say, for example, they have a VA loan in another state. They're now going to move to a different state, but they did not sell their home. They kept the home and they kept their VA loan on that old home. Well, you may not have enough entitlement to be able to go purchase another home, so you may have to go with an FHA loan, which is why we're talking about it today. VA actually no longer has a loan limit. Okay, so I recently did a loan for a gentleman who bought a home that was almost $1 million, and guess what? 0 down payment, no mortgage insurance. Yeah, almost $1 million home. So VA does not have any limitations as far as how much you can use. Now FHA, on the other hand, there is a county limit. You just need to check where you're living, where your county is, and you will find what the limit is. You can just go to FHA's website and find out what the limit is. But every county is going to be a little bit different depending on where you live. With VA, again, no credit score requirement, 0 guys, none. However, you don't want to have bad credit even when getting a VA loan because it will affect your interest rate. It will also affect your homeowner's insurance in a lot of cases because a lot of these insurance companies are running credit. While a lower credit score won't keep you from qualifying, the additional expense, for example, higher insurance, homeowner's insurance specifically, or a higher interest rate may cause you to not qualify. In a lot of cases, that's not going to happen, but in some cases, if it's really, really tight and your credit score is low, your homeowner's insurance may be too high for you to qualify for maybe a certain home. Maybe you have to restructure what you were looking at, rethink what you were looking at, and maybe look at a lower price point. So while it may not keep you from qualifying necessarily for a specific home, it may change the actual loan amount just because the insurance might be a little bit higher. Your interest rate might be a little bit higher because there's a lower credit score. So I know for the company that I work for, we're typically gonna look at your last 12 months. That is what we're focused on, okay? Does not have to be perfect. So again, if you need help, hit me up. So listen, both the VA and FHA loans offer prospective home buyers an opportunity to buy homes with favorable terms. That is the key, guys. The one thing that keeps most people from purchasing a home, it's a down payment initially, right? So again, VA, no down payment, FHA, 3.5%. That 3.5% can also be gifted. So if you've got family members, or if you want to look into maybe a down payment assistance program, depending on where you live, that can assist you with that 3.5%. But typically for veterans, the VA loan is definitely going to be the best choice. But again, there may be situations where you may not be able to use that VA loan, and then you have to look at maybe looking at an FHA loan, which is not a bad option. Definitely does not come with the same benefits as a VA loan, but depending on your situation, FHA loan may be the best option for you if you cannot get your VA loan fully reinstated and being able to use 100% of it. So just depends on your situation. Now you guys know this is just a piece of the puzzle. What I need you to do is go take a look at this video right here. That is going to get you some additional information, get you ready for home ownership, and I will see you over there.